find activity first of all, and then we need to somehow find people in neighborhoods just all over Dallas and start educating these people to, kind of an outline of what you talked about tonight, bringing to their attention. And then I think there need to be many more meetings like this throughout the year. I guess I'm assuming this is the first meeting, I don't know, it's the first time this year. I went to one in Arlington back several weeks ago. I felt very good. But this really is going to take a lot of work. As I see it, we have to really get some coordination. We have to really identify some people, we have to educate. And I don't know where we start.
You sound like an organizer. You sound like an organizer.
You just stood up, sir.
Yeah. Like I say, I'm just an interested citizen. I'm just kind of learning about all this. I want to learn about Columbus, so I know about what fracking was, and it's very alarming. I guess I shouldn't be so surprised and horrified at some things I've learned. But there's a lot. It seems to me there's a lot of education that is yet to be done. I'm not sure how you start to do this, but I really appreciate what all of you have done tonight. It's just a start, though. And
when you talk about identifying neighborhoods, there is a neighborhood president here tonight, only because a couple of weekends ago I made about 50 or 75 copies on a Saturday and just started putting them on board. And I went back the next weekend and I asked around, I said, "Go to the neighborhood association." They said, "Yeah." I said, "You know the president?" They said, "Yeah, he lives right there." So I got this impression of Elton when he's here tonight. So now he's getting information. He can go back, talk to his community, the closest community, the closest application to you, the name in a lease that's possible drilling site is called Haley Airport. So I would say, Gate 12 from Southwest, what would say 1 mile, circle. So that's the neighborhood factor.
Remember, we're going to put on the subdivision, so anyhow, Saturday is going to go.
So, Lovedale, you have the Cedar Springs, the Palm neighborhood, but you've also got some Park Cities. You've got a large Hispanic community. So you have really different kind of mix. And it's going to take a lot of work, especially the application, to really organize.
It may be already kind of late. We got a call from one of these companies, I think about 3 years ago, asking if they could drill, and I said, no, thank you.
They've been spreading around for about 2.5 to 3 years.
I remember.
I believe that people, especially with the economic situation the way it is right now, people are going to grab any straw. And
Well, like Karen said,
it's what many people.
it's a big picture. 13,000,
It's not.
20 years is really
They always talk in big numbers of what a whole community or what a leasehold is going to make. When you break that down on an individual basis, what you're going to walk away with in money in your pocket and affect your economy, it's really not worth it. But I remember back in 2006 at that first task force, and I asked the industry people at that time, where is this Barnett Shale? And they brought out this big colored map showing it. Well, you know where it ended in their mind then? At what they call the Washita Arch. Now, I don't know if people know what the Washita Arch is in this area, but when you come from I-20 and you go up that big hill, and you're approaching into y'all's neighborhood here where it's up and down and up and down, that is what they call the Washita Arch. And they said the Barnett Shale didn't extend past that. But they are finding shale plays now in places that they never really ever knew they were before. And as they keep spreading and they do seismics, they go, oh, yeah, here's a new one, or here's a shadow. I personally think now what the Barnett Shale extends in what is actually the Trinity Basin, the prehistoric Trinity Basin, the convergence of the Trinity, the Clear Fork, the North Fork, the Southwest Fork, all those forks converge right through the center of but essentially that prehistoric valley that created this shale probably follows that Trinity Basin all the way through East Texas and to the coast probably.
And now they've said it extends down to Waco. But when you start trying to form your little neighborhood groups, first, if you'll send them to my blog, and I have some cards with the URL on there, if you'll send them to my blog, but also OGAP has dozens and dozens of flyers, and I printed off some flyers over here, just a little one-page double-sided flyer about oil and gas pollution, but there's flyers for everything you want to know. They put out dozens of publications. They have a book called Oil and Gas at Your Door that is the best book you'll ever read about this. They have a book on hydraulic fracturing. They have dozens of flyers that you can print off and take and give to your neighbors to develop their interest, and then give them my blog so that they can kind of read what's going on. And you just have to do it just one neighbor by one neighbor. And in Corinth, when the XTO was trying to drill in Corinth in this ridiculously close to these neighborhoods, Cora Bell got up at 7 o'clock one morning. One woman saved Corinth. She got up at 7 o'clock one morning and she started knocking on doors. And people would slam the door in her face and she'd go to the next door and the next door and the next door. And she organized her town and they ran XTO out, and they've got a temporary moratorium now until they can update their drilling ordinances. So if they can do it, if Como can do it, you can do it.
We've done it. It's not like impossible. Yeah, quite a few. They know full well it's going to be everywhere. I've spoken with
The first people that the industry is going to approach is your city staff and your city council and your mayor.
I meant urban as opposed to.
Yeah, well, we when back in 2002, that's what our leaders told us too, that they thought it would just stay rural, but it was going to be close. But
Okay.
and now we're inundated. I mean, and they're being actually complicit to keep the drilling going on. They're leasing city land because they think they need the money up ahead of neighborhoods, even leasing, which then the industry uses that against the neighborhoods, because they'll say, well, we've already leased up 20 acres. Well, that's your city park that the city just leased out from under you.
You have to understand, though, that we are energy gluttons in this country. It's ridiculous how much energy we use. It is absolutely ridiculous. I live in a rural area. I have been paying the price to provide y'all with energy for a long time now. We can't keep up with it anymore. We're the ones that grow your food and the food your food eats. You don't want this stuff in your food chain either. So if you're going to be an energy glutton, then there is going to be a price for that.
Thank you for coming. If you want to come up and ask some questions, hang out, feel free to do so. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. One more thing.
Okay, sorry. In organizing, don't forget religious congregations. Some of you are probably aware of Dallas Area Interfaith and the work that they've been able to do to organizing congregations around health issues,